Okay, this is my last lecture for the semester. Obviously, because it's the last day of class. These are the things that, if nothing else, this is what I want you to remember from the class. Yes?
Is there supposed to be something on the screen?
There is supposed to be something somewhere in VGA skills. Thank you. There we go. Okay. Thank you very much. I would have sat here and talked with a blank screen behind me. These are the things, if you take nothing else from this class, these are the things I hope you take away, because it's the stuff that you will find will turn out to be critical time and again in your career. First, people matter most. This is original for me. You can go back decades. Virtually every study that indicates the greatest success factors, if I can talk, the biggest predictors of whether or not a project will do well are the people. You want people who love what they're doing, have, remember TEPIS, talent, experience, professionalism, education, skills. Some balance of those. They don't all have to be the same. In fact, you don't want them the same. You want some mix in there. You want people who will look at things differently. Biggest problem here is better to be short-handed than to fill a slot with someone who will not add to the team and project. This is a big mistake I see out in the industry. They hire for the sake of having bodies. We need 10 programmers on this. Why? There's a good chance to get just 5. The right 5 can do it. I'm not going to read the slide to you. You can read all this. This is all stuff we've talked about. But remember, it's going to be the people that will matter most. Great people will usually succeed in spite of the obstacles that management puts in front of them. If the obstacles are too great, they all leave. That's pretty much it. You end up just not putting up with the stuff. Process, boy, process is seen as you just have the right process. Carol Teasley, best boss I ever had. And actually, technically, she was my boss. I was a consultant. She was the vice president of Fannie Mae that I was sort of a parallel report to. But the best manager and the best leader I ever worked with. Carol and I had this ongoing argument. She said, processes, methodologies don't matter, because if there was one that actually worked all the time, everyone would use it. And my argument was usually, well, no, actually, there are several processes that work, it's just that people don't apply it appropriately. Frankly, I lean more in her direction at this stage of my life. Process can help. Methodology can help. But calling what you're doing agile when you're not doing what's necessary to bring the project to completion isn't going to help. Calling it waterfall, calling it whatever you want to call your process. If you're adopting a new process, you want to do it on a pilot project. You want to have people who are trained. This is I've talked about this and I see this. I have seen this in failed projects where it's like, okay, we're behind schedule. Let's all go to methodology X. Even though none of us have ever actually shipped product using methodology X. So don't expect miracles from a specific process or methodology. Ignore or minimize SQA at your peril. This is one of the biggest issues. It's always been one of the biggest issues in IT. It always gets neglected. It always gets underfunded. SQA is not testing for a few weeks at the end before you ship. It has to be wrapped around every aspect of the development cycle. It has to be baked in to everything you were doing. Be on the lookout for organizational dysfunctions. We've talked about these. Thermocline of truth. I run across this all the time. It happens everywhere. I mean, this is not something unique to IT. But I think it's especially prevalent in IT because it is so easy for management going up to hide what's actually down in the trenches. I mean, if any of you seen where they tore down the Fletcher building over by Wilkins Center? If I tried to tell you, oh yes, we're building a new building there and it's 50% complete, you go and look at the empty lot and say, ha! No, nothing's happened. It's all dirt. There's some concrete here. There's no building there. With software, that visibility issue is a real problem, especially when you start moving up to non-technical management ranks. They have no easy way of knowing where things actually stand, unlike, say, a building actually under construction. Dead Sea effect, great people will leave a frustrating environment. I've seen that happen time and again. 7 deadly sins. I testified before Congress, as I've told you. This is one of the statements I made. Basically, why do projects fail is for human reasons. It is seldom for technological reasons. And resistance to change. I love this quote by Machiavelli from The Prince because it is so true. When you, for whatever reason and whatever function you undertake to change how things have worked, you will have resistance from those who want to preserve the old way and only lukewarm support from those who say, yeah, no, that might help. It is hard to make change. Remember this. By the way, I keep all my slides and lectures up, so when you go off and say, what was that thing that how to accelerate that, Professor Webster had me go back to the website, look it up, and see it. This is a great, great paragraph. This is actually a good checklist to sort of print out and keep with you as you're going out on job interviews. And say, okay, how does this seem to be working here? Of course, you have to be someone who's like, do you crush novelty in your organization? Yeah. Though actually, that would actually work very well because people say, what are you talking about? Or they'll say, oh, no, we embrace novelty. Actually, they're probably lying to you. Okay, maxims to remember. These are a handful of my absolute favorite maxims. You've heard me quote them time and again. If I had to rank these at all, the single most important is for my friend Bruce Henderson. Start out stupid and work up from there. Most project failures stem from attempting too much too quickly. Now, how many teams here had to drop features that they originally hoped to have in the final thing? Yeah, look at that. That's what you do. It's one of the simple truisms. It's like, okay, I have this much time, and I have this many features. Let's start throwing things off the sled to the wolves. And so we lighten up the sled and can actually make the goal. Probably the second most important is how does a project get to be a year late, 1 day at a time by Brooks. And the third is spin right up at the top. All the important mistakes are made the first day. Between those three, I can describe most failed projects that I've had to review. Your final assignment? Oh, yes?
What did number 3 mean on the last slide?
Oh, Ashton's Law. That's Alan Ashton. He was professor of the very first computer science and very last computer science class I took here. It means when someone says, we're going to make this thing work differently for you on your iPhone because we think this is a better user interface. And you say, you idiots, it worked just fine before. You've broken it. Or you've made it harder. In other words, when someone tries to do something for you in enhancing or improving a piece of software, they often cause more problems than they solve. The users may not want it. They may not like it. Remember, people hate change. There we go, Mark and Lister. I mean, how many of you have done an upgrade on an operating system for your laptop or desktop or mobile device, and suddenly something works completely differently? And you're like, oh, why did you do that? I liked it just fine the way it was before. Occasionally you'll see improvements, but it's kind of like, leave it alone. Okay, your postmortem, for those of you who haven't paid attention to this, this is due by midnight Wednesday. It's deliverable number 10, it's worth 1% of your grade. All I'm looking for is a few paragraphs saying what went well on your project, what didn't go well, just, what were your lessons learned? And also, how do you think the class could be improved? I mean, if you want to say nice things, that's fine, but I'm not searching for that. I'm mostly interested in finding improvements. And the class has improved, in my opinion, each semester because of the feedback I've gotten from students. So, do that. I will try to stay on top of the grades. Other than that, I've been tickled. This is such a fun class to teach. And I feel like I'm actually sending you out into the world somewhat prepared. Yes?
Do we have to meet with Sean this week?
No, don't meet with Sean this week. No. Sean's like, no. I've got fun. And by the way, thank you, Sean. What? You're graduating, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And many of you are going to be here this fall and are interested in being my TA, please let me know. You can always find me online. Those of you on Steam, my user ID is Fritzworth. I always accept friends there. You will see how many, embarrassingly, how many hours I spent on XCOM 2. And I'll post all this online. Thank you, and you guys have a great life.
Thank you.